emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Hello and welcome to the Final Order Report, your last chance to get in on upcoming comics before they head to print, and the print runs are locked in. I am Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer at Green Brain Comics, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on what hits our shelves starting on the first Wednesday of September, and what you need to pre-order by Monday at noon, August 11th. These titles ship out for release starting Wednesday, September 3rd. Yes, they do. Green Brain Comics and the Final Order Report are proudly powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com. Or download the mobile app for Android and iPhone. Create an account or access your existing account to order and pay securely online, ensuring you never miss an issue. Today I will be using Comichub to show you this week's last call for confirmed orders carousel. But first, I just want to mention that music today is brought to you by Klezmergeddon Orchestra, courtesy of BRAINSCAN Production. All right, first, let's go back to Comichub. Once you sign in, you see the current screen there. Behind the orange banner is all the books that you have in store for you right now, waiting to be paid for and picked up or shipped. Behind the green banner is all the carousels we will be looking at today, starting with your top search is search all items, and you can look at preview pages. You can look at next week's arriving books. That's Wednesday, August 13th. And the one we will be using today is to search orders due Sunday for Last Call. And lastly, just to point out, there is a search event that is entries for crossover events that happen throughout the industry and different publishers. All right, let's click through here. Search orders due Sunday. And you see the carousel scrolls top to bottom. It also has filters on the top for alphanumeric on the red buttons, and then you got drop downs for publishers, categories, brands, etc. Now that I showed you around here, let's just jump right over to our first spotlight, and that will be on Small Press Comics. And the first small press comic that we will look at today is Toxic Crusaders. Look at this beautiful bunch of amazing folks. Toxic Crusaders #1 is a 5-issue series from writer Matt Bors and artist Tristan Wright, who did this A cover following... Pardon me, I guess we just get the A cover. This is following on the heels of the all-new Toxic Avenger movie. In the aftermath of the chemical spill that created Toxie, other mutations arose, all gross, all weird, and some evil. Joining the rebirth of the greatest and grossest animated series sensation of all time, the Toxic Crusaders. Yeah, good times. Ooh, hey, look, from the small press, we got Antarctic Press is back in print, and we get a special Horror Comics Black and White Halloween special with this cover by Brian Denham. Ooh, we also get from Archie Comics a new one-shot starring Sabrina the Teenage Witch in Magic Unleashed, featuring 30 pages of brand new story content, or 30 pages of story content. There it is. with an all-new lead story. We also get let's see, that A cover is from Vincent Lavallo, Dan Parent. And we get a B cover retro from Dan DeCarlo. Look how cool that is. It's all for Sabrina the Teenage Witch Magic Unleashed. This one shot will be available on September 3rd. You can make sure to get your copy and any of the variants that we showed you today on Comichub. Also on FOC this week is Cul-de-sac number 2. Number 1 just shipped this last week. It's got amazing art from Jonathan Wayshak over a script by Mike Carey, and this cover by Jonathan Wayshak. Also from Bad Idea is the second issue of Hero Trade Project Chimera, and the B cover is done by Eduardo Rizzo. Yeah, that's cool. Also from Bad Idea, we get this brand new 4-issue miniseries called Survive. The Russian Akula class submarine orders were simple. Escort the cargo ship Turgenev across the Atlantic and safely deliver her to Cuban shores. But someone aboard has a competing mission: sabotage. From writer Rob Venditti and artist Doug Braithwaite, with this A cover by Jorge Fornes and a B cover by Arturo Lazzi. It's Survive number 1 from Bad Idea, available on September 10th. From Fantagraphics and Gilbert Hernandez, we get a new issue of Psychodrama. This is in the larger magazine format. 24 pages for $4.99. And from newer publisher, let's see, this is Ignition Press. We get this new series from Leah Williams and David Baldion entitled Voyeur. As head of security at the upscale Thai resort, Kingfisher Rook has access to absolutely everything. From his office, he can punch into any closed-circuit camera on the island and see what all the guests are up to. And trust us, he's seen it all, or so he thought. When Madeline arrives, she instantly captures Rook's attention, as did that camera angle there, and she just as quickly catches onto his game. From Leah Williams and artist David Baldion, we get this A cover by Paulina Gonisho, and a B cover from Emanuela Lupacino. Yeah, Voyeur number 1, available on September 17th from Ignition Press. Get a couple new issues from Mad Cave Studios, including number 3 of Bitchcraft from Aaron Reese and Lima Carroll. Flash Gordon number 11 from Jeremy Adams and Will Conrad. The second of 5 issues from the series Look Into My Eyes. Antarctic Press has another new thing in here. Oh, from Massive Publishing. That's what happened. Yeah. This is Kaiju Cooking number 3, Big Giant Shark, and Cayman America number 10. Then we got also from Massive Publishing, which is basically a co-op distribution under Lunar. Yes, we have Never Wars number 4 and Romanus Magicae from Matthew Blair and Paul Pert Smith. We get a second issue of Tama, which just debuted this last week, from Adam Schlagman and artist Doug Pascoe, with a new cover by Dustin Nguyen. And to round out the very small press, we get a couple of new magazines from Tomorrow Press. We got Back Issue Volume 163 with the villainy of Gorilla Grodd in this Arthur Adams cover. A zombie issue in Cryptology number 6 with a Bernie Wrightson cover. And Jack Kirby Collector comes out with a volume 95 with this Machine Man cover by Jack Kirby himself. That's it for the very small press. Let's go up to the medium press. We got some books from Boom Studios. This is Blink, and You'll Miss It. Number 1 just debuted this last week from Ethan S. Parker and Keith Browning on art and cover. The Killer Affairs of the State, Volume 2 is back with number 4. And a B cover by Sean Phillips. And The Expanse, A Little Death, number 1. This brand new series has always been about big moves, and this might be the biggest yet. Wes Chatham, the man behind Amos Burton, isn't just stepping back into the universe, he's shaping its future as co-writer of the next epic installment. That's right, Andy Diggle and Amos Burton are getting together to write a new Expanse series, A Little Death, with art by Francesco Pisa and this A cover by Christian Ward. Justine Florentino on the A cover. On the B cover for The Expanse, A Little Death. Ooh, here's a cool looking one. Adapting the hit French graphic novel, author Romuald Jolivo and artist Jacob Rebelka come together to give us the dreamlike story of the very last day of H.P. Lovecraft. See the final journey of a complex and tortured man facing his choices, his writings, and his mistakes at the very last moment of his life. Designed as a central Gothic cathedral, The Last Days of H.P. Lovecraft is an extraordinary story that explores the end of a man and the beginning of a myth. This fine looking book has this Jacob Rebelka cover on A B cover from Ben Stenbeck. Ooh, juicy. A 20th anniversary variant by Suspiria Vilche, and The Last Days of H.P. Lovecraft is on FOC this weekend for release on September 17th. Moving on over to Dark Horse Comics, we've got a new issue of FML from Kelly Sudaconic and David Lopez, who did this A cover. Ghostbusters is back with Dead Man's Chest number 4. And Stranger Things Tales from Hawkins Volume 2 continues with number 3 on September 3rd. And wrapping up Dark Horse Comics, we get the next issue of Tramps of the Apocalypse, number 3 from Alice Darrow. This book has been a thrill. Beautiful, clean line work and fantastic laid out pages in monochrome. Tramps of the Apocalypse, number 3 is by Alice Darrow and available on September 3rd. Uh-oh. Something's wrong with Captain Planet. Yep, Captain Planet number 4 is on FOC this week, but we only get a little thumbnail. However, Gargoyles Demona gets a full-size cover by Jay Lee. Thundercats Lost number 6 with a cover by Declan Shalvey. Moving on over to IDW. We got the second issue of the new series in the Godzilla Kaisei universe. This is Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone number 2 from Ethan Parker and Pablo Tunica, who did this A cover. We also get a second issue of Monster High House Haunters, from writer Ben Kahn and artist Sonia Lau with this Eileen Widjaja cover. Ooh, from IDW, we get a new miniseries exploring the first Street Sharks comic in more than 20 years, which brings you extreme stories and a fantastic time. But don't call it a comeback. They've been waiting for everyone else to get ready for some jawsome adventures. The 4 Bolton brothers were happy playing sports and meeting babes. But when a run-in with a mad scientist turned them into giant sharks, they only got cooler. kick some serious fin with Ripster, the great whitehead of the pack. I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is crazy. They're back. Street Sharks. For the first time in 20 years, from writer Stephanie Williams and artist Ariel Medel, with his cover by Philip Murphy on A, Jorge Corona on B. That looks pretty cool. Elizabeth Beals on C, and a sketch cover for D. It's Street Sharks #1 from IDW, available on September 17th. Get your order in for any of these variants by Monday at noon. Ooh, we also get a new spin-off of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This miniseries, or series, stars Casey Jones, spinning directly from the pages of TMNT. Casey Jones' first solo miniseries in over 30 years. What? Deal with it. Let's see. Casey Jones was shot by D.A. Hale. He's awake and he has a second chance at life. Instead of taking things slow and smelling the flowers, he's jumping head first into the action. Casey is hitting the streets and doing everything he can to protect the people of New York. But those closest to him thinks he's pushing too hard. April O'Neil, for instance, and the Turtles, especially Casey's closest friend, Raphael, they're all concerned. From the critically acclaimed team of Alex Packnadel and Aman K. Nahualpan, this is Casey Jones #1, with a cover by Aman K. Nahualpan. Danny Earls on B, a sketch cover for C, all for release on September 17th. IDW is also sub-distributing for Valiant Alien Books, and just in time for a new era of superhero storytelling, which begins here in Valiant Beyond Exo Man of War #1 of 4. Designed as the ultimate jumping on point, the Valiant Beyond line of comics are absolute must-reads that will energize your love for superheroes. That's right. This brand new series follows the mighty Eric of Dacia, aka Exo Man of War, as he traverses a deadly wasteland filled with mutated horrors in a search for honor. In this can't-miss debut issue from GLAAD Award-nominated writer Steve Orlando and superstar artist Guillermo Fajardo. It's Valiant Beyond Exo Man of War #1 with an A cover from Ariel Olivetti, a B cover from Nuhal Grego, Dennis Calero on C, connecting, and a design cover by Andres Ponce. It's available on It's not available on April 30th. It'll probably be first or second week. That's funny. That's an old date. First or second week of September for Valiant Beyond Exo Man of War. All right, let's move on over to Oni Press. They got a couple cool things on FOC this week, including the next issue of Adventure Time #5 with this B cover by Kenzie Bug. French to the End, Part 1. The second issue of EC Cruel Universe Volume 2. #1 just came out this last week. #2 features Chris Condon, Riley Rossmo, Sammy Cavella, and so many more. And there is a local comic shop day event coming up at the end of September. This is going to be a part of it, I believe. This is a foil version reprinting of EC Catacomb of Torment #1 with the J. Stevens foil variant. That'll be $19.99, and at this point, special order only. Also from Oni Press, we get this debut of a sequel to a pretty good selling series that came out last year from Oni Press, and writer Jordan Thomas with art by Danielle Gette. It is Skin Police, Volume 2, Number 1. When you're a cop in the year 2142, you can't afford to trust anyone. Not your partner, not your spouse, not even yourself. From rising star Jordan Thomas and powerhouse artist Danielle Gette, the hyperkinetic near-future action epic Skin Police returns with an all-new jumping on point. We got an A cover from Jorge Fornes. An A cover from interior artist Danielle Gette. A B cover from Jorge Fornes. Allison Sampson on a C cover. And Clara Meath on D. All for Skin Police, Volume 2, Number 1, available on September 3rd. And let's see, moving on over to Titan. We got a couple things from them. We got third issue of Return to Skull Island with this cover by Christopher Jones. And we get a new 4-issue miniseries in the Blade Runner Black Lotus world. This is called Las Vegas, and it is written by Nancy A. Collins. And this continues the story started in the 2021 anime series, Witness Las Vegas, as seen in the Blade Runner 2049 film. This all-new series sees the deadly replicant combat model Ellie, aka the Black Lotus Killer, continue searching for answers about her mysterious past. Ellie's quest takes her to the irradiated city of Las Vegas, a sand-choked ghost town of forgotten memories following the detonation of a dirty bomb. There she finds a community of role-playing replicants, abandoned hospitality models from the old casinos now living as embodiments of ancient Egyptian and Roman royalty. Sounds like fun from Nancy A. Collins and interior artist Kyle New, who also did this A cover. Got a B cover from Danny Earls. Jesus Hervas on C. Andy Bellinger on D. And a Kit Wallace variant that's kind of looking Gorilla's Tank Girl-like for Blade Runner Black Lotus Las Vegas, number 1 of 4, available on September 17th. And that does it for the medium-sized press. Let's move on over to Image. I think we could do that. And we could start by going there. First thing on Image's list this week is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 320 from veteran writer Larry Hama with interior art by Paul Pelletier and an Adam Kubert cover. Phantom Road returns with number 15, The End of a Story Arc by Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Hernandez Walta. Rockefellers number 8 from Francis Manipal, Peter J. Tomasi. Savage Dragon 278. This is the B cover, the trade dress variant, but I like this one a little bit better. Better balance. Tyrone Dragon Fights Alone from Eric Larson. Get the next issue of Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story on September 3rd from Layla Lays and Maytal Schut. Spawn, Sam and Twitch Case Files, number 17, drops on September 3rd. We inch slowly closer to the epic finale of Tin Can Society with this issue 8 from Francesco Mobili and Peter Warren. There it is. Transformers gets a bunch of new printings. This is number 19 with a cover A by Jason Howard, as well as a B cover. Wow, this looks like Gwar characters. These are cool. Number 20 gets a Decepticon variant by Jason Howard and an Autobot variant And also 2 covers for Transformers 21 second printing, also by Jason Howard. Good stuff. Walking Dead Deluxe, the full color reprinting of the entire Walking Dead series, continues with issue 120 with the C cover by Matt Wagner. And we get this debut of a new series from Maria Lovett. This is Artificial #1. This is a 4-issue miniseries. Clara, a fashion stylist disillusioned with love, turns to a futuristic dating service that offers lifelike android partners. But when her dream lover glitches into a possessive stalker, she finds herself trapped in a game of desire, control, and survival. 9.5 Weeks meets the Terminator in Artificial, a new erotic thriller by Maria Lovett, with this A and B cover by Maria Lovett. Available on September 3rd, pardon me. And then we get this one shot from Image Comics that is from writer Kieran Gillen with art by Steve Lieber, who did this cover. It starts with birds materializing. It'll end with the death of the heavens. Cosmic horror you can dance to in a one-off apocalypse romance from Kieran Gillen and artist extraordinary Steve Lieber. This was originally printed in Image, the Image Anthology, issues 7 through 9. And wrapping up Image Comics, we get this debut of a brand new miniseries. Jack Chandler is the sole survivor of the zombie apocalypse in his rural farming community. But rather than eliminate them, he has chosen to continue living alongside the undead, including the husband and adopted daughter he fought so hard to have. But when his town is discovered by outsiders, Jack suddenly becomes the one thing standing in the way of those who hope to kill his family for good. Eisner Award nominated creators Tate Bromball and Jacob Phillips team up for a haunting rural character piece set during a zombie outbreak, best described as Walking Dead meets Essex County. Yeah, this is pretty fantastic looking, with this A cover by Jacob Phillips as well as a B cover by Jacob Phillips. And this little stealth variant by, I'm going to guess that's Charles Adler. Yeah, that's Charles Adler. Available on September 3rd from Image Comics. All right, that wraps up Image Comics. Now let's take a quick look at DC Comics. Actually, I don't think it's going to be a very quick look. They've got a bunch of stuff. It'll be cool, though. You'll dig it. Hey, it's the next issue of Absolute Green Lantern. It's number 6 from Al Ewing and Janoy Lindsay, who did this A cover. Absolute Superman number 11 with a cover by Rafa Sandoval, who does interiors. And Batgirl number 11 with the conclusion of the Three Swords series storyline, with this cover by David Tolasky. Batman 635 gets a facsimile edition with the first appearance of Jason Todd as Red Hood by writer Judd Winnick and interior artist Doug Monkey, with a Matt Wagner cover. $3.99 for the regular and probably $5.99 for the foil. And then we got this facsimile edition Superpowers cardstock variant by Alex Saviuk. Birds of Prey celebrates their 25th issue with this look at a fight to the the Birds of Prey took the fight to the Shadow Army and won, but that was merely the Shadow Army's first move, and their endgame is only just beginning after an unexpected ally After an unexpected ally emerges, the birds find themselves racing against the clock to stop a game called the Unreality that is primed to become a mass casualty event in Gotham. To stop it, the birds will need to go undercover, enter the game, dismantle it at its source, and somehow make it out alive. With this cover by Annie Wu. Beautiful cover by Leonardo Romero. Kind of reminds me of Watchmen. Yeah. Birds Prey cover by Greg Land. Classic. And we got a second issue of Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League. Number 1 just came out this last week. It was a lot of fun from writer Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott with this C cardstock cover by Guillaume Marsh. JSA 11. I think we're just getting number 10 this week, so yeah. Number 11 has this B cover by Jorge Corona and interiors by Jeff Lemire and Diego Ortego. Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong Volume 2 Number 4 has this cardstock variant by Alan Qua and is shipping on September 3rd. Poison Ivy also gets a brand new storyline and a nice promotional push for this long-running story by G. Willow Wilson with artist Marcio Takara, a traitor in their midst. It's a beautiful new day in Seattle. The sun is out. The birds are chirping. And the order of the Green Knight is at Poison Ivy's beck and call. We got swell covers by Jessica Fong, Nubovich, and Kyung Yeom for Poison Ivy, number 36, brand new storyline. Resurrection Man Quantum Karma wraps up its 6-issue miniseries with this cover by Jeff Deckel. And Teen Titans Go continues with number 7, available on September 3rd. Okay, now we put it into high gear with some number 1s. We'll kick it off with this DCKO Ashcan. This is a local comic shop day exclusive. The cover price on this is $1.99 for a full color Ashcan preview of DCKO. And this is an interesting thing. This is a brand new 12-issue miniseries that reunites Philip Kennedy Johnson and Scott Godlewski to continue their Superman saga. Adventures of Superman, Book of L, number 1. Picks up the story from Future State Superman, House of L creators reunite for Book of L as the super family settles into a well-earned time of peace. A powerful ally turned enemy invades Earth with an army at his back and a god aspect of Olgrun, mad god of the first world. When even the super family lacks the power to stop him, Superman is sent against his will to a place even he's never been, where he'll find allies he could never have expected. Concluding the events of Future State and Philip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics, the next epic adventure begins here with this A cover from Scott Godlewski himself, a B from Dan Mora. These are cardstock variants. Riccardo Federici and Raza on D. All 4 Adventures of Superman Book of L, 1 of 12, dropping on September 3rd. All right, and that wraps up our look at DC Comics. Now let's move right on over to Marvel Comics for the wrap. And the first thing we will look at today is Captain America number 3. This is the Michael Cho variant, and gosh, it's beautiful. Love them colors from Michael Cho, Chip Zdarsky, and Valerio Schiti on interiors. Eddie Brock Carnage number 8 with this Jesus Saiz cover. And also an Alex Ross Timeless variant featuring Shanna. Or is that Sheena? I get them all mixed up. Exceptional X-Men number 13. Continuing this series from Eve L. Ewing with Federica Manchin on interiors and a Carmen Carniero cover. And an Alex Ross Timeless variant featuring Kitty Pryde and Lockheed. Helverine number 10. Ben Percy, Raphael Ienko. And Marvel Knights, The World to Come returns with number 3, set to be on sale September 24th from Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada. Got a wraparound cover by Joe Quesada and a B cover from J. Scott Campbell in the Just Spectacular collection. One World Under Doom continues with issue number 7 with this Ben Harvey cover. He's not stretching them out too far this time. That's all right. Red Hulk, also a tie-in with One World Under Doom, continues with number 8 and this Jeff Shaw cover. Spider-Verse versus Venomverse. Who will win? It's an all-out war from Matt Groom and James Jimto with this Luciano Vecchio cover. Star Wars Jedi Knights number 7, Madabek Musabekov on this cover. Superior Avengers with the Kyle Hotz variant. Look at Skeleton Magneto. It's so cool. He's grimacing at me. He's all like, yeah. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 4, scheduled for September 10th with the Sarah Pacelli cover. Ultimate Wolverine number 9, September 10th, Alessandro Cappuccio cover. And Wolverine Revenge, the Red Band Raw edition, black and white polybag. Yeah, you could special order this and have it. I'll probably not get it for the shelf. Just a heads up. Couple more things to show you before we get to the number 1s this week. We got Wolverines and Deadpool's number 3 with this Clayton Crane cover. Nice. And then we got Battle World number 1. The Battle World from Secret War returns. Slay your enemies, prove your worth, and all you desire shall be yours in the world to come. Heroes from across the multiverse are thrown together on a patchwork world to engage in their own secret wars for the survival of their timelines. Who or what has created this battle world, and for what nefarious purpose? Enter Maestro. Is he friend or foe? From writer Christos N. Gage and artist Marcos Toe. Get this A cover from Lionel Francis Yu. A Mark Bagley cover. Nick Bradshaw in a 5-part wraparound connecting variant. Swell. He always does such a nice Spider-Woman. That's so nice. And then we got a retro Halloween mask variant. Thrilling. Make sure to special order this one. Rod Rice promo variant. All for Battle World number 1, scheduled for September 24th. Order this and any of those variants through Comichub before Monday. Here's an interesting thing. Edge of Venomverse number 1. This is a one-shot collecting the digital Death of the Venomverse tie-in in print for the very first time. Featuring a story by Clay McLeod Chapman and interiors by Philip Seavey. We get this cover by Carlos Nieto. Imperial War Nova Centurion. This is a one-shot tying into Imperial. The Xandarian world mine will be lost forever unless Rich Rider can earn the credits needed to keep it alive. So Nova must offer his services to the highest bidder. Have Helmet Will Travel from Jonathan Hickman and artist Matteo Delafonte with this Francesco Mortarini cover on A. Oops. And a B cover from Mark Bagley? Sure. Available on September 10th. Hey, we get a new Marvel Zombies series. This looks like it's actually Marvel Zombies this time. The dead rise again for the first time. It was the most important space flight of the history of the Marvel Universe. 4 intrepid heroes took off into the unknown and returned changed, gifted with great abilities, and hungering for human flesh. Travel back to the birth of a Marvel Universe parallel to our own, but chock full of horror since its very inception. From Ethan S. Parker and interior artist John Bazaldua, with this cover by Greg Land. Clayton Crane. This is Ivan Shavrin and a retro zombie variant by Scott Koblish. All of the Marvel Zombies Red Band will be polybagged and priced at $4.99. Available on September 17th. Yeah. All right. Getting close here. The Undead Iron Fist #1. The Iron Fist rises. The Book of the Iron Fist declares that every Iron Fist will die by the age of 33. But who wrote this false prophecy? Danny Rand was killed, but can you truly kill an immortal Iron Fist? Learn the truth about the legacy of the Iron Fist as Danny Rand rises once more to snuff out those that threaten that legacy before Danny's time runs out. From writer Jason Liu and artist Fran Galan. Get this cover by Wills Portacio, Philip Tan. That's pretty metal. Torrin Clark. All for Undead Iron Fist #1, available on September 10th from Marvel Comics. Jason Liu, Fran Galan. And putting the cap on Marvel's FOC titles this week is Ultimate Hawkeye #1. Breakout hit character Hawkeye goes on a solo covert op that will have a massive impact on the future of the Ultimate Universe, featuring Dennis Camp, Taboo, B. Earl, Juan Frigeri, and Michael Santamaria. Yeah. With covers by R.B. Silva on A, Declan Shelby. This artist variant by Lee Garbett and Lyrics Lee. All for Ultimate Hawkeye #1, available on September 3rd from Marvel Comics. All right, that wraps up. Well, let me say it like this. That's it. That's almost every comic book on Last Call this weekend. And you've got until, pardon me. Do that. And you've got until Monday at noon, August 11th, to order these items and many, many more. Please send in confirmed items in your cart before the deadline. Yeah, do that. There it is. Okay, I did it. But before I let you go, let's see, that was all from Marvel. Do that. Let's take a quick look at events. First event of which is coming up this evening, and that is the East Dearborn Drink and Draw. That is this evening, Friday, August 8th from 7 to 9. It's hosted at Downey Brewing Company. More information, downeybrewingcompany.com. They are at 13121 Prospect in Dearborn. We got a map on our event page on our website. co-hosted by Blick Art Material and Green Brain Comics. Hope to see you there. And Brain Candy is coming up in just a few short days. On Monday, August 18th, it's a live program of poetry, prose, music, and visual art. This month featuring the music of Vampire Cowgirl, the prose of Tim Jones, poetry from Justin Pearson, and the visual art of Amanda May Moore. It's all curated by the Emerging Writers Network and happens every third Monday, and it's free of charge. And this month it's Monday, August 18th at 7 p.m. For more information, go to greenbraincomics.com. Join us back here on YouTube on Tuesday, August 13th for BRAINSCAN, our live preview on the eve of New Comic Book Day. Take a walk with us around the store and chat with your fellow Brainiacs. It's a good time. Party on. And it's all in recognition of the best day of the week. It's New Comic Day, August 13th, and we got a big old list on our Green Brain Comics website, or use Comic Hub to place those reservations. We got a bunch of small press stuff too. Check out those cool titles. And I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for the final order report. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We are Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All of the links to our shopping cart website and Comic Hub are below in the description. Music for this episode provided by Brainstem Productions. We are spreading the love of comic books and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. 40 years. Feed your brain at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. Emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics.